Hi guys, I'm going to show you how to use some of the tools on the writing assessment for this year to make sure you can navigate it properly. First thing, log in with a password that you are given by your teacher. You're going to have to confirm that it's you. Start the test. Now it's going to tell you how to navigate. You can read through that if you want. It's also going to list off the tools in case you forget, but I'm going to teach you how to use each one right now. Alright, so this is our writing assessment, and this is how it's going to look when you first get it. If you want to be able to read the passage without everything else, use this arrow right here to move back and forth. So, as I'm reading the passage, if it hurts your eyes, use this thing here called the line reader, the A with the lines around it. So you can read line by line, and it'll kind of blur out everything else, so it's not quite as hard on your eyes. As you're reading, as you're finding pieces of text that are going to support the claim or argument that you're making in your essay, because you know you have to cite evidence from the text, use your highlighter to help you when you come back to it. So maybe I want to use this piece of text right here eventually. So I'm going to use that highlighter tool, and I'm just going to click and drag to what I need. Okay. So if these are pieces of text that I want to come back to, because I think they're going to help support my argument. Another tool is the Notepad. Right here it looks like a notepad. If you wanted to type something, one night when a very bad storm was raging, ... Alright, so I can save and close that. Now when I come back over here, if I wanted to paste that in, I pull up the clipboard again. I can just highlight it all. I press the thing that looks like two pieces of paper. It's going to copy it. And then I can just paste it down here with the thing that looks like the clipboard. Okay, that's the only way to copy and paste. You can't directly copy and paste, unfortunately. Right? It won't give you that option. Right. Some other things you could do with your notepad if you wanted to make notes as far as your thesis statement, your claim statement, or figuring out the prompt. If you want to break down your prompt, right, you could do that as well. So one thing I know I've taught some of my students to do, use the highlighter. Let's highlight the big do words, right? The to-do words, things you're going to do, right? So one thing I see is we're going to write, you're going to describe, you're going to use, okay? So I can come back over here and I'm going to say write what? A continuation. And I'll say describe what? Describe what happens next. And then use what? Use what I learned from the story. All right, so this is kind of a consolidated prompt, so you don't have quite as many words, and then I know I'm going to write a continuation to describe what happens next using what I learned from the story. So that'll help you a little bit, and if you wanted to type your thesis in, you could. You'll also have scrap paper that you can use as well. Okay, I'm going to close this out. Now, if you want to zoom in and out, that's easy right here. Zoom out to make it smaller, zoom in to make it bigger. Down here on the writing section, this is where you'll write your answer. Same thing, you can zoom in if you want your text to be bigger, and you can zoom out if you want it to be smaller. It looks like a small box, but it'll keep going, right? The more you type, the bigger the box will get. So recognize you're writing a full essay, introduction, body paragraphs, and conclusion. Don't get too fancy with your font, but if you need to bold it for some reason, just highlight and press B. If you want to italicize it, press I. If you want to underline it, press U. Let's say that you didn't want to do any of that. You want to go back, just like on your internet, undo, undo, undo. If you want to redo, you go forward. Okay? Undo, redo. If you wanted to move something, let's say you typed something here, but you actually want to move it, cut it with the scissors, and then put it with this clipboard, the copy button again, where it is you want it, right? And you can copy and paste that way. This is your spell check function, right? If you click it, it'll turn on. The last thing you might need if you want to do your paragraphs is the indent, right? So right here, this will indent it as a paragraph. And again, you can zoom in and you can zoom out. Those are the tools you need to know how to use in order to be successful. So you're gonna have to click finish. It's gonna ask you a lot of times to finish. Finish, submit. There will be a little survey. I'm going to choose to skip it. You should do the survey though. And then submit, log out, and you are done.